Very well. Here in your orchid.
Know you before whom, sir?
I, better than him I am before, knows me. I know you are my eldest brother, and in the gentle condition of blood, you should so know me. I have much of my father in me as you.
What, boy?
Come, elder brother. You are too young in this.
Wilt thou lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain. I'm the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys. He was my father, and it is thrice a villain that says such a father begot villains.
See, masters, be patient. Let me go, I say!
I will not till I please. You shall hear me. My father charged you in his will to give me a good education. You have trained me like a peasant, obscuring and hiding from me all gentlemanlike qualities. The spirit of my father grows strong in me, and I will no longer endure it.
And what wilt thou do? Beg when that is spent? Well, sir, get you in. I will not long be troubled with you. You shall have some part of your will. I pray you leave me.
I'll no further offend you than becomes me for my good.
Get you in here, you old dog.
This old dog, my reward, whom I lost my teeth in good service. God be with my old master, who not has spoke such a word.
Good morrow, your worship.
Good Monsieur Charles. What's been the news of the new court?
There is no news in the court, sir, but the old.
That is, the old duke has been banished by the new duke, his younger brother, and 3 or 4 loving lords have put themselves into exile with him. Where will the old duke live?
They say he was already in the forest of Arden, and many merry men with him. There they live like the old Robin Hood of England.
Do you wrestle tomorrow before the new duke?
Married, do I, sir? I came to acquaint you with the matter I am given, sir, to understand that your younger brother Orlando hath a disposition to come against me.
Your brother is but young and tender, and for your love I would be loath to foil him. Charles, I thank thee for thy love to me, but I had a sleep thou didst break his neck as his finger. For I assure thee, and almost with tears I speak it, there is not one so young and so villainous this day living. I am heartily glad I came hither to you. If he comes tomorrow, I'll give him his payment.
And so God keep your worship.
Farewell, good Charles. Now, I hope I shall see an end of him, for my soul. Yet I don't know why, hates nothing more than he. But it shall not be so long, this wrestler shall clear all. All that remains is that I can move the boy thither, which now I'll go about.
Unless you would teach me to forget banished father, you must not learn me how to remember any extraordinary pleasure.
No, my father hath no child but I. No, none is like to have, and truly when he dies, thou shalt be his heir. For when I break that oath, let me turn monster.
And therefore, my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be married.
That's what I will curse and devise faults. Let me see. What think you of falling in love?
Marry. I pray thee do to make sport with all, but love no man in good earnest. Bonjour, la vue.
Why, ladies, I would have told you of good wrestling, which you have lost sight of. Shall we see this wrestling, cousin?
You must if you stay here, for here's the place appointed to for the wrestling, and they are ready to perform it.
Yonder sure they are coming. Let us now stay and see it.
Come on now, since you've not been treated, his own peril and his forwardness.
Is yonder the man?
Even he, madame.
Alas, he is too young yet. He looks successfully.
How now, daughter and cousin? Are you prepped hither to see the wrestling?
I'm my liege, please you give us leave.
You will take little delight in it, I can tell you. There are such odds in that man. In pity the challenge is due, I would fain dissuade him. But he will not be entreated. Speak to the ladies, see if you can move him.
Young gentlemen, your spirits are too bold for your years. We pray for your own sake to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Too young young man. Your reputation shall not therefore be misprized. We will make it our suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard thoughts.
The little strength that I have, I wish it were with you.
And mine, to eke out hers.
Very well, pray heaven I be the same to you.
Your heart's desires be with you.
Are you ready to rumble?
Come! Where is the young gallant that is so desirous to lie with his mother Earth?
Ready, sir, but his will handle it a more modest working.
You shall try but 1, 4.
No, I warrant your grace. You shall not entreat him to a second that so mightily persuaded him from a first.
You mean to mock me after? You should not have mocked me before. But come your ways.
Hercules, do thy speed, young man.
Begin.
What's that over there?
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Roland boys.
I would thou hadst been son to some man else. The world esteemed thy father honourable, but I did still find a man in me. But fare thee well, thou art a gallant youth. I would thou hadst told me of another father.
I am more proud to be Sir Roland's son, his youngest son, and will not change that calling to be adopted heir to Frederick.
Gentle cousin, let us go thank and encourage him. Sir, you have well deserved.
Young gentleman, wear this for me. One out of suits with fortune that could give more, that a hand likes me. Are we go, cuss?
Aye, fare you well, fair gentleman.
I cannot say I thank you.
Did you call, sir? So you have wrestled well and overthrown more than your enemies. You go, cuss? You fare you well.
What hangs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak to her, yet she urged conference. O poor Orlando, thou art overthrown.
Good sir, I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place, albeit you have deserved.
I thank you, sir. And pray you tell me this. Which of the two was daughter of the Duke that he was at wrestling?
Neither his daughter, if we judge by manners, but yet indeed the small in his daughter. The other is daughter to the banished Duke, and here to Taye by her usurping uncle, to keep his daughter company, whose love is dearer than the natural bond of sisters.
I rest much bound into you. Very well. Thus must I from the smoke unto the smother, from tyrant truth unto a tyrant brother. But, heavenly Rosaline,
Mistress, dispatch you with your statements, hasten to get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin, within these 10 days, if thou beest found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
Dear uncle, I do beseech your grace. Let me get knowledge of my fault bear with me. Never so much as claw on board did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. Let it suffice thee. I trust thee not.
But your mistrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me where the likelihood depends.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. It was your pleasure and your own remorse. I was too young that time to value her. But now I know her. If she be traitor, why so am I?
She is too subtle pity. Her smoothness, her very silence and her patience speak to the people and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. Cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. You, niece, provide yourself. You have stayed the time upon mine honor and in the greatness of my word. You die.
No. Let my father seek another heir. Therefore devise with me how we may fly. We let her go and want to bear with us. See what thou canst. I'll go along with thee.
Why, whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Maids as we are to travel forth so far, beauty provoke thieves sooner than gold.
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire and with a kind of unbesmirch my face, the like do you. So shall we pass along and never stir assailants?
Cousin, because I'm more than common tall, did I suit me your points like a man?
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page. And therefore thou shalt call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Alina.
But cousin, what if we say to still that cash fall out of your father's court? Would you not be able to comfort on our travel?
He'll go along over the wild world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Now let's away and get our jewels and our wealth together. Devise the fittest time and the safest way to hide us from the pursuit that will be made after my flight. And now we go in content to liberty and not to banishment.
Now, my co-mates and brothers in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of a painted poem? Are not these woods more free from peril than the envious court? Here we feel not the fellowship, Adam, the season's difference, as the icy fang of the churlish hiding of the winter's wind. Even till I shrink with cold, I smile and say, this is no flattery. These are the counsellors that feelingly persuade me for what I am, which, when it bites, which, like the toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet a precious jewel upon his head. And this, our life, except from public court, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything.
I would not change it. Happy is your grace that can translate the stubbornness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style.
Come, shall we go kill us venison? And yet, it irks me. The poor dappled fools, being native of this desert city, should in their own confines have their round haunches bored. brother. No, no brother, yet the son, yet not the son. I will not call him son. Of him I was about to call his father. I've heard your praises, and this night he means to be firm the lodging of where you used to lie, and you within it. If you fail of that, you'll have other means to cut you off. I overheard him and his practices. This is no place. This place is but a butchery. Abhor it, fear it, do not enter it. For a man, how well he appears. But come thy ways, we'll go along together. Indeed we have thy youthful wages spent. Will life upon some such low content? Master, go on. I'll follow thee to the last gasp, with truth and with loyalty. Yet fortune cannot recompense me better, but to die well and not my master's debtor.
Oh, Jupiter! How weary are my spirits! I cannot for my spirits, if my legs were not weary.
I could find it in my heart to disgrace her man's apparel and to cry like a woman. But I must pump the wicked vessel, as thou wilt impose art to show itself courageous to petticoat. Therefore, courage, Catalina. Oh, I pray you bear with me. I cannot go no further.
For my part, I had rather bear with you than bear you. Yet I should bear no cross if I did bear you, for I think you have no money in your purse.
Well, this is the forest of Arden.
Aye, now am I in Arden, the more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place, but travellers must be content.
Aye, be so good, touchstone.
This is the way to make her scorn you, stiff.
Oh, Corin, that thou knewest how I did love her.
I partly guess, because I have loved an ear now.
No, Corin, being old, thou canst not guess. Oh, Phoebe, Phoebe, Phoebe.
Joke, joke. This shepherd's passion's much upon my fashion.
And mine, but it grew something stale with me.
I praise. One of you question yon man.
If he for gold will give us any food.
I faint almost to death.
Holly, you cloud!
He's full. He's not thy kinsman.
He calls.
Your better, sir.
Peace, I say. Good evening to your friend.
And to you, good sir. And to you all.
I pray thee, shepherd, bring us away and may rest ourselves and feed. Here is a young maid, which have much oppressed and thanks for some.
Fair sir, I pity her, and wish for her sake more than for my own, if my fortunes were more able to relieve her. But come, sit, and in my voice, welcome you.
Too much, I can go no further. Oh, I die for food. Here lie down and measure out my grave. Farewell, kind master. Well, how now? My great heart and thee? Live a little, come a little. Choose thyself a little. If you some who's first with anything savage, I'll either give food for it or bring food to thee. Come, I'll bear thee to some shelter, and thou shalt not die for lack of dinner. Still leave anything to this necessity. She'll live with them.
What fool is this?
O worthy one that hath been a courtier and says, if ladies be but young and fair, they have the gift now. Then who comes here? Forbear, need no more. Why? I have eaten none yet. Nor shalt until necessity be served. And what kind should this cock come off? What art thou thus bold into man by thy distress? Or else a rude despiser of good manners, that incivility that seems so empty. Touched my vein at first, yet I am inland bred and nursing nurture. But forbear, I say, he died that touches any of this fruit till I my offence been answered. And you will not be answered with the reason I must die. What would you have?
Your gentleness shall force more than your force move us to gentleness.
Almost died for food, so let me have it.
Come, sit, and welcome to our day.
Speak you so gently? Pardon me, I pray you. I said all things have been savage here, and therefore I put countenance of stone and mammon. But prepare your food a little while I can do. I go find my form. There's an old cool man who after me hath a many weary step, till he be first sufficed, pressed with two weak evils, age and hunger. I will not touch a bit.
You'll find it out, and we will waste nothing to your return.
I thank you, and be blessed for your good comfort.
see us, we are not all alone and happy. This wide and universal theatre presents more woeful pageants than the sea where we play. And all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. His acts being 7 ages. At first the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, and then the winding schoolboy, creeping like snail, unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. And then the soldier, full of strange oaths and years like the past, jealous in honour, quick and sudden in quarrels, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good cape and line, full of wise swords and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. His youthful hose, well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank and his big, manly voice. Turning again towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sun's teeth, sun's eyes, sun's taste, sun's everything.
My love, O Rosalind, these trees shall be my books in their barks, my thoughts of character, that every eye in which this forest looks shall see thy poetry witnessed everywhere. Run, run Orlando, carve on every tree, the fair, chaste, and expressive shape.
She wants a young American.
I'll rhyme you so 8 years together. Dinners and suppers and sleeping hours accepted. It is the right butterwoman's rank to market.
Outful!
For a taste, if a heart do like a hind, let him seek out Rosaline. If the cat will after kind, so be sure will Rosaline. Winter garments must be lined, so must slender Rosaline. This is the very full scale for verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
He said, doubtful, I found them on the tree.
Truly the tree yields bad fruit.
I'll graft with you and then I shall graft in the meddler.
You have sense, but whether wisely or no, let the forest judge.
Pete, take up your sister reading. Stand aside.
Didst thou hear these verses?
Oh, yes. I heard them all the more too. For some of them had more feet in them than the first could bear.
That's no matter. The feet might bear the verses.
Trow you who hath done this. Is it a man?
And chain you once wore about
His neck. Change you colour.
I prithee who? Oh Lord, it is a hard matter for friends to meet.
But mountains may be removed with earthquakes and so encounter.
Nay, but who is it?
Is it possible?
Nay, with the most passionate vehemence, tell me what it is.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful, wonderful, and yet again wonderful. And out of all of that
the restless heels, and your heart, both in an instant.
Nay, let the devil take mocking. Speak sad brow and true maid.
And because 'tis he, Orlando.
Orlando. But don't you know that it is the forest who lands in peril? Looks as fresh as the day you wrestled.
It is easy to count atomies as to resolve propositions of a lover, but take a taste of my findings and relish it with good observance. I found him under a tree, like a drop-dead god. There he lay stretched along like a wounded knight. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous! Oh, my heart! Oh, you bring me out.
Soft! Comes he not here? 'Tis he. Slip by and note him. I will speak to him like a saucy lackey.
I have a better name with him. Do you hear, Forester?
Very well. What would you?
I pray you, what is 'tis o'clock?
You should ask me what time o' day. There are no clocks in the forest.
Then there is no true lover in the forest.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With this shepherdess, my sister, here in the skirts of the forest like fringe upon a petticoat.
Are you native of this place?
As the coney that you see dwell where she is kindled.
Your accent is something finer than you could purchase, and so remove the dwelling.
I have been told so of many. There is a man who splits the forest, that abuses our young plants with carving Rosalind on their barks, hangs odes upon hawthorns and elegies on brambles, all forsooth deifying the name of Rosalind. If I could meet that fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love-shaped. I pray you, tell me a remedy.
There are none of my uncle's marks upon you. He told me to know a man in love. In which cage of rushes, I'm sure you are not prisoner.
Fair youth, I could make you believe I love.
But are you so much in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reed can express how much.
Love is merely a madness. Yet, I profess, curing it by counsel.
I would not be cured, you.
I would cure you. If you would but call me Rosaline, and come every day to my court and woo me.
Now, by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me to it, and I will show it you. And by the way, you will tell me where in the forest you live. Will you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosaline. Come, sister, will you go? Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Do not, Phoebe. Say that you love me not, but say that so of bitterness. The common executioner, whose heart the accustomed sight of death makes hard, falls not the act upon harm's neck, but first begs pardon. We still be that he that dies with us by bloody drops.
I would not be thy executioner. Fly thee, for I would not injure thee.
Oh dear Phoebe, if ever, as that ever may be near, you meet in some fresh cheek, the power of fancy, then shall you know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows made.
But till that time, come not thou near me. And when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks. Pity me not, as till that time I shall not pity thee.
And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother, that you insult, exalt, and all at once over the wretched? What though you have no beauty? As by my faith, I see no more in you than without candle may go dark to bed. Must you be therefore proud and useless? Why, what means this? Why do you look on me? I see no more in you than the ordinary of nature's cells work. Odds my little life. I think she means to tangle my eyes too. No, faith of our mistress, poke not after it. 'Tis not your inky brows, your black silk hair, your regal eyeballs, nor your cheek of cream that can attain my spirits to your worship.
Sweet youth, I pray you chide a year together, for I had rather hear you chide than this man woo.
He's fallen in love with your foulness, and she'll fall in love with my anger. If if it be so. As fast as she answers thee, with frowning looks thou sauce her with bitter words. Why look you so upon me?
For no ill will I bear you.
I pray you do not fall in love with me, for I am falser than vows made in wine. Besides, I like you not. If you know my house, it is at the tuft of olives here hard by. Shepherd, ply her hard. Come, sister.
Dead shepherd. And now I find thy soul might. Whoever loved that love, not at first sight.
Sweet Phoebe!
What? What sayest thou, Silvius?
Sweet Phoebe, pity me.
Why, I'm sorry for thee, gentle Silvius. Think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis but a peevish boy.
Yet he talks well. But would I care for words? Yet words do well when he that speaks pleases those that hear. It is a pretty youth.
Not very pretty, but sure he's proud, and yet his pride, oh, it becomes him.
He'll make a proper man. What had he to do to chide at me? I'll write him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it. Wilt thou, Silvius?
Phoebe, with all my heart.
I'll write it straight. The matter's in my head and in my heart, for I will be bid with him in passing short. Go with me, Silvius.
How now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? You a lover? And you served me such another trick, never come in my sight more.
My fair Rosalind, I come within the hour of my promise.
Nay, and you be so tardy, come no more in my sight. I had as lief be a wound of a snail. Of a snail! And I am your Rosalind.
It pleases him to call you so, but he hath a Rosaline betterly than you.
Come, woo me. For now I'm in a holiday humour, and like enough to consent. What would you say to me now, and if I were your very, very Rosalind?
Then love me, Rosalind.
Yes, faith will. Fridays and Saturdays and all.
And wilt thou have me?
Now tell me how long you would have her after you have possessed her.
Forever and a day. But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life,
Watching
you
Melody,
will do as I do.
educated.
But she is wise.
Talking backstage.
For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I must leave thee.
Alas, dear love, I cannot lack thee 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock I'll be with thee again.
Go your ways, go your ways. I knew what you would prove. My friends told me as such, and I thought no less. That flattering tongue of yours won me. 'Tis but one passed away, and so comes death. 2 o'clock is your hour.
Ah, sweet Rosalind, adieu.
Oh, cuss, my pretty little cuss. But thou didst know how many fathom deep I am in love, that it cannot be sounded. My affection hath an unknown bottom, like the bay of Portugal.
Or rather bottomless. That as fast as you pour affection in, it runs out.
I'll tell thee, Elena, I cannot be out of the sight of Orlando. I'll go find a shadow and sight will we come.
And I'll sleep.
It's got off the throne of bed to the girl with the mousy hair, but her mummy is yelling no, and the daddy is telling
My errand is to you, fair youth. My gentle Phoebe did bid me give you this. I know not the contents, but as I guessed by the stern brow and waspish action that she did use as she was writing of it, it bears no rude tenor. Pardon me, I'm but as a guiltless messenger.
Patience herself would startle at this letter and play the swaggerer. Bear this, bear all. She says I'm not fair, that I lack manners. She calls me proud.
And that she could not love me were man as rare as Phoenix. Odds my will, her love is not the hare that I do hunt. Why writes she so to me? Well, shepherd, well. This is a letter of your own lass.
No, I protest. I know not the contents. Phoebe did write it.
Will you hear the letter?
So please you. I never heard it yet. It hurt too much of Phoebe's cruelty.
Alas, poor shepherd.
Do you pity him? No, he deserves no pity.
Rosalind!
Good morrow, friends. Should I know you by description? Such garments and such years. The boy is fair of female favour, and bestows himself like a right sister. The woman, no one rather than her brother. I'm not you the owner of the house I did inquire for.
It is no boast being asked to say, we are.
Well, I know doth commending to you both.
And to let you, he calls it Rosalind. He says it like that.
What must we understand by this?
When the last of I departed from you, you left a promise to return again. Within an hour of pacing through the forest, lo up befell. He threw his eye aside and marked the object to present itself. A wretched ragged man, overgrown with hair, lay sleeping on his back, under which was shade a lioness with all others drawn dry, lay couching, head on ground with cat-like watch. In that sleeping man should stir for tears, the raw disposition of that breeze, I had nothing that could not seem as death. This scene, or like he should approach the man, and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
I have heard him speak of that same brother, and he did render him the most unnatural that lived amongst men.
Well, I know he was unnatural. But to Orlando, did he leave him there? Food to the sapped and hungry lioness? Twice did he turn his back on purpose so. But kindness, nobler ever than revenge, and his nature stronger than just his occasion, made him give quick battle to the lioness, who quickly fell before him, in which hurtling from miserable slumber I awaked.
Are you his brother?
Was it you who rescued?
Was it you that did so often try to kill him?
'Twas I, but 'tis not I. Had you not shame to tell you what I was since my conversion, so sweetly taste being the thing I am? But for the bloody napkin! By and by, in grief, he led me to the gentle Duke, who gave me fresh rain and entertainment, committing me unto my brother's love. Led me to his cave, there stripped himself, and here upon his arm, the lioness had torn some flesh away, which all this while had bled. And now he fainted, and cried upon fainting Rosalind. He sent me hither, stranger as I am, to tell the story. You might excuse his broken promise, and to give this napkin, dyed in his blood, unto the shepherd youth that in God's thought was his
Why, how now, Ross? Ganymede, speak, Ganymede.
Many will swoon were they to look on blood.
There is more in it, cousin Ganymede.
Look, he recovers.
I were at home. We'll lead you thither. I pray you, will you take him by the arm?
You a man, you like a man's heart.
Oh, I do so, I confess it. Ah, sirrah, the body would think this was well counterfeited. I pray you tell your brother how well I counterfeited. Hey-ho!
This was not counterfeit. There was too great testimony of complexion, and it was the passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Well then, take a good heart and counterfeit to be a man.
Come, you look paler and paler. Pray you, draw home as good sir, go with us.
That's all I, for I must bear answer that. Excuse my brother, Rosalind.
I shall devise something, but I pray you commend my counterfeiting to him. Will you go?
Take a look at the oh man, reading of the young guy. Oh man, wonder if you'll ever know. You've done the best thing.
Oh my dear Orlando, how it grieves me to see thee wear thy heart in a scarf.
No, it's my arm. My arm.
I thought thy heart had been wounded with the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, with the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how I counterfeited to swoon when he showed me a handkerchief?
Aye,
and greater wonders than that.
Oh, I know where you are.
Nay, 'tis true. For your brother and my sister no sooner met, but they looked. No sooner looked, but they loved. No sooner loved, but they sighed. No sooner sighed, but they asked one another the reason. No sooner knew the reason, but they sought the remedy. And in these degrees have they made a pair of spares to marriage. They are in the very wrath of love, and they will together.
Clubs cannot part with. They shall be married tomorrow, and I will be the duke to the nuptials.
But oh, how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes.
Why then? Tomorrow I cannot serve your turn for Rosalind.
Live no longer by thinking.
I shall weary you then no longer with idle talking. If you do love Rosalind, so near the heart that your gesture cries it out, when your brother marries Alina, you shall marry her. I know into what straits of fortune she is driven, and it is not impossible to me, if it appear not inconvenient to you, to set her before your eyes tomorrow, human as she is, and without any danger.
Sound sober meanings?
By my life I do, which I tender dearly. Though I say I am a magician. Therefore, put you in your best array, bid your friends, for if you will be married tomorrow, you shall. And to Rosalind, if you will. Oh, look, here comes a lover of mine and a lover of hers.
You have done me so much ingentleness to share the letter that I writ to you.
I care not if I have. It is my study to seem spiteful and ungentle to you. You are there followed by a faithful shepherd. Look upon him, love him. He worships you.
Good shepherd, tell me what it is to love.
It is to be a maid of sighs and tears. And so am I for Phoebe.
You and I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be a maid of faith and service. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind. And I for no woman.
It is to be a maid of fancy, or maid of passion, and a maid of wishes, or adoration, or duty, or observance, or humbleness, or patience and impatience, or purity, or trial, or observance, and so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Why do you speak to? Why blame you me to love you?
To her that is not here, nor doth not hear.
Pray you, no more of this. I will help you if I can. I would love you if I could. Tomorrow, meet me all together. I will marry you if ever I marry women. And I'll be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you if ever I satisfy man. And you will be married tomorrow. I will content you if what pleases you contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow. As you love Phoebe, meet. As you love Rosalind, meet. And as I love no woman, I'll meet. So fare you well, I have left your commands.
Well, praise be the gods that I found us. Sluttishness become hereafter. But be as it may be, I will marry thee. And to that end I bring of Sir Alpamatex, the vicar of the next village, who hath promised to meet me in his place in the forest and to couple us.
I would fain see this meeting. Will the gods give us joy?
Here comes Sir Alpamatex. You are well met. Will you dispatch us here under this tree, or shall we come with you to your temple?
Is there none here to give the woman?
I will not take her in gift of any man.
Truly, she must be given, or marriage is not lawful.
Proceed! Proceed! I will give the woman.
Ah, good evening, good monsieur, what you call it. How do you, sir? You are very
slave to wait a wainscot, and then one of you will prove a strong kennel, and, like free timber, whoop whoop!
I'm not in the mind that I will better to be married of him than of another. For he's not like to marry as well, and not being well married. It is a good excuse for me hereafter to leave my wife.
Come thou with me, and let me counsel thee.
Come, sweet Audrey, we must be married, or we must live in Audrey. Farewell, good Master Oliver. Not.
'Tis no matter. Near a fantastical name shall balk me out of my calling.
Faith priest was good enough for all the old gentlemen's sayings.
The most wicked Sir Oliver Audrey, and most vile Martin. But, Audrey, there is a youth here in the forest laid claim to you.
I know who it is. He hath no interest in me in the world.
'Tis meat and drink to me to see a clown, by my troth. We that have good wits have much to answer for. We shall be flouting. We can not hold.
Good evening, Audrey.
God give you even, William.
And good evening to you, sir.
Good evening. How old are you, friend?
25, sir.
Is thy name William?
William, sir.
Fair name. Was born in the forest here?
Aye, sir. I thank God.
Thank God. A good answer. Art rich?
So.
So is good. Very good. Very excellent good. And yet it is not. It is but so. Art thou wise?
Aye, sir. I have a pretty wit.
Why, thou sayest well. I do now remember a saying. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.
You do love this maid.
I do, sir.
Give me your hand.
Art thou learned?
No, sir.
Well, then learn this with me. To have is to have, for it is a figure in rhetoric that drink, being poured out of a cup into a glass by filling one, doth empty the other. For all your writers consent, Ipsy is he. Now, you are not Ipsy, for I am he.
Which he, sir?
He, sir, that must marry this woman. Therefore you, clown, leave, which is in the vulgar, abandon, the society, which in the boorish is company of this female, which in the common is woman, which together is abandon the society of this female. Or, clown, thou perishest, or, to thy better understanding, diest. Or to it, I kill thee, make thee away, translate thy life into death, thy liberty into bondage. I will deal in bastinado with thee, or if steal. I will ban thee with thee in faction. I will kill thee with poison. I will kill thee 150 ways, therefore rebel and depart. Do good, William.
God rest you merry, sir.
Our master and mistress seeks you. Come, away, away!
Trip on trip. I attend, I attend.
Dost thou believe, Orlando, that Ganymede can do all that he hath promised?
Sometimes do believe and sometimes do not. As those that fear they hope, and know they fear. Patience,
once more whilst our compact is urged. You say that if I bring in your daughter, you will bestow her on Orlando here.
That's what I had my kingdoms to give with her.
And you say you will have her when I bring her.
That's what I'm all kingdom's king.
You say you'll marry me if I be willing.
That will I. Should I die together after?
But if you do refuse to marry me, you'll give yourself to this most faithful shepherd.
So is the bargain.
You say you'll have Phoebe if she will.
Though hurt and death were the same thing.
I have promised to make all this matter even. Keep your word, O Duke, to give your daughter. Do yours, Orlando, to receive his daughter. Keep your word, Phoebe, that you'll marry me, or else, refusing me, to wed this shepherd. Keep your word, Sylvius, to wed her if she refuses me. And from hence I go to make all these matters even.
I do remember in the shepherd's voice some lively touches for my daughter's favour.
My lord, the first time I ever saw him, we thought he was a brother to your daughter. Oh, but my good lord, this boy is firstborn, and hath been tutored in the rudiments of many desperate studies by his uncle. A great magician, obscured in the circle of the forest.
There is sure another flood towards, and these couples are coming to the ark.
Here is a pair of very strange beasts, who in all tongues are called fools.
Salutation and greetings to you all. Good my lord, bid him welcome. This is the motley-minded gentleman I have so often met in the forest. He hath been a courtier, he swears.
And if any man doubt that, let him put me to my purgation. I have trod a measure. I have flattered a lady. I have been smooth with my enemy and kind with my friend. I have undone 3 tables, had 4 quarrels, and like to have fought one.
By my faith, he is very swift and sententious. Isn't he a rare fellow, my lord? He's as good as anything, and yet a fool!
He uses his folly like a stalking horse, and under the presentation of that, he shoots his wit.
Then there is mirth in heaven, when earthly things make even, and turn together. Good Duke, receive thy daughter. Time from heaven brought her, yet brought her hither, that thou mightest join her hand with his, whose heart within his bosom is.
To you, I give myself, for I am yours. To you, I give myself, for I am yours.
If truth be in sight, you are my daughter.
Truth be in sight, you are my Rosalind.
If sight and shape be true, why then, my love, would you?
I'll have no father, if you be not he. I'll have no husband, if you be not he. Nor ne'er wed woman, if you be not she.
Peace ho! I bar the confusion. 'Tis I must make conclusion to these most strange events. Here is 8 that must take hands to join in Hymen's bands, if truth holds true context. You and you, no cross shall part. You and you, are hearts in heart. You, to his heart you must accord, or have a woman as your lord. You, ashore together, like winter to foul weather. Twice, Hymen, wedlock we see, feed yourself with questioning, that reason wonder we may diminish. How thus we meet, and these things finish.
My dear niece, welcome thou art to me. Even daughter, welcome is no less degree. I will not eat my word. Now thou art mine. Thy faith, my fancy, to thee doth combine.
Let me have audience for a word or two.
that bring these tidings to the spare assembly. Duke Frederick, hearing how that every day men of great worth resorted to the forest, addressed a mighty power which were on foot, in his own conduct, purposely to take his brother here and put him to the sword. And to the skirts of this wild what he came, where meeting with an old religious man, after some question with him, was converted, both from his enterprise and from the world, his crown bequeathing to his banished brother, and all their lands restored to them again. That well with him exiled, this to be true, I do engage my life.
Welcome, young man. Thou offerest fairly to thy brother's wedding. To one, his land withheld, to the other, a potent dukedom. First, let us do those ends that here were well begun and well begot. And after, every of this happy number that has enjoyed true days and nights with us shall enjoy the good of our returned fortune. Meantime, forget this new fallen dignity and fall into love music revelry, play music. And you, brides and bridegrooms all, with measure heaped in joy till the measures fall.
Excellent. Take a step back. And bow. Awesome. Okay, let's cut it.